Alright, we've got 3 packages. Although the one on the bottom does not contain anime, but let's go through this Crunchyroll box first, which contains season 2 of Be the Beginning. Yeah, that's a B. Okay. Next up, we got the Amazon stuff. Okay, this means I did not grab the wherever it is. Now I did. And then, last but not least, this is a limited run game physical edition of Contra Operation Galuga? Galuga? Which, I already have this on Steam on one of my computers, but I thought having a physical version would be nice. Can take it places if I want to, although the game itself was maybe not as much my thing as I would have thought, but whatever. Anyways, let's go through stuff. Here we have the Reincarnated slime movie, Scarlet Bond. And do I have anything to say about this? Well, regions A and B, English and Japanese dubs. I do believe we actually saw that character cameo in the latest episode of Slime. Nothing big. This plastic's being a little tenacious. But I wasn't quite sure because I can't remember his character design well enough to know for certain that was him, but pretty sure that's what they did. Just based on contextual hints. But that said, here we have the movie itself. I don't remember the movie being particularly bad or anything. Just the plastic's bad. Fuck that plastic, Jesus. That was a bit of an entertaining little romp. Here we have it on Blu-ray. There we go. Next up we have the Great Cleric. And let's see, that's regions A and B. English and Japanese. And same underneath the slipcover. This show, I remember it being okay. It got more entertaining in the second half. It felt like a running gag for like the first half, though, where it's like, okay, are you just a show about a guy who drinks a stinky drink over and over again? And I was pretty sure it didn't want to be, but it felt like it was on that same joke for a long time. But I thought it got better at the end, which pretty much means it's probably going to fail a lot of people's 3-episode rule, but whatever. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, something ocean, probably says here. Stone Ocean, yes. And this should be a part 2 if I remember correctly, but I'm working on opening this up. Actually, it says right there, part 2. As this is a Viz release, it's almost guaranteed to be English dubbed. I think there's only a couple things that they released that weren't. English and Japanese stereo audio. New stuff. Oh, yeah. Stand on the back. And we've got your usual manga, and I think there's the DVD. No, this is just all Jojo. Maybe all manga? Those are always kind of neat advertisements, albeit I see so many of the Naruto ones. Okay, so you can't see anything behind the discs, so pretty much that. Nice and straightforward. And then we also have a book. I don't remember if the other books, the other releases had books. I think they probably did, because consistency, but there's that one. And then last but not least, is this still called Be the Beginning? Yeah. Succession. I never watched the first one, so I can't really say too much else about this. There you go. Just remember the main character looks kind of like Gordon Freeman. Well, I guess I call him the main character. He seems to be prominent. He's the Japanese Gordon Freeman. Regions A and B. Lots of bonuses. 6 episodes. Pretty cool beans. I don't remember what the part 1 was like the release. If that's going to slide around, then let's begin Wings with the disc itself. 2 discs. There's Mr. Freeman. Person. Why don't we begin with this, since this looks like a poster. No, those characters are Gordon Freeman. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe actually one of them is Gordon Freeman, and I just don't recognize the character because he's like shaved or something. We have a case file, which is a pretty stereotypical booklet with characters, scenes, sketches, arts, some text. Pretty cool, actually. And then, oh, these are art cards. That's what we've got here. Sketches. Definitely a curious looking series. I imagine some of y'all are fans of it and are like, Giga, you should be watching it. But, you know, I'm doing me things. See if we can keep that inside here with the rest of the DVD release. Cool. Here's this week's Physical Anime Collection update.
Okay, I may have made a mistake. So, last week y'all remember I was going to play Pokemon Legends Arceus? Did I mention that? I don't remember. I might have mentioned I was thinking of it. I got a little too into it, so I fell behind on some of these shows. Let's talk about things one by one. First of all, with my Friday friend, I did watch That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3, dubbed episodes 68 and 69, which I was predicting that they would probably release 2 episodes. They might not, and that would have been fine if they didn't, and we were always just, 1 episode behind, but I kind of figured they would probably catch up. And they did, and I thought they were perfectly fine. I'm trying to remember what content happened in them. I do remember, oh yes, the martial arts tournament stuff, and, just appreciating a second time that it didn't drag it out or anything like that. It kept it at a very good Reincarnated as a Slime pace. And then there was that, and then, yeah, so overall, entertaining stuff to rewatch. Maybe not exciting, but entertaining. And we ended up eating, because we're 2 episodes of that, and our dinner was one that tends to go late. We didn't watch the last 2 episodes of Demon Slayer, just episode 7, because episode 8 is a double-length one, but Episode 7 did more stuff, some more reminders of some of the stuff on why the main character, I think, is fun, and then a setup for whatever episode 8's about to do. Which, episode 7 had a very atmospheric stinger. Very nice, very neat. As usual, criminal underutilization, Nezuko, but that's par for the course. No longer allowed in another world, episode 11. Okay. Okay stuff. Okay, yeah, I think, speaking of criminally underutilized, I was hoping for one more character to show up, but maybe they're saving that for the last episode. A recurring character. But I remember episode 11 mostly being okay. Came to an okay end. Nothing. Wednesday, Failure Frame, episode 11. I guess it's doing a thing. If there's any complaint I have, it's that it's showing a little too much of the class, and I'm not sure if I care about them. But it's also, I don't know, it feels a little dawdly. Not necessarily bad or unwatchable, but an interesting mix of stuff. Oh yes, that started happening. Assholes. It's stuff. I Parry Everything, episode 12, which I do believe was the final episode. It was very interesting because it went back and showed us some historical stuff from a new perspective now that we understand things a little bit better and have gotten hints that things were more interesting than we were initially led to believe. The, kind of a I Parry Everything sort of ending. So overall, an okay series. For subtitle, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 71. Let's see. Yes, that was the stuff that happened. Entertaining stuff. I wonder if I have anything else to really say. It did end with, okay, are we going to see a little conflict? But I don't think it's the kind of conflict that you would say, oh yes, we're going to see how powerful Weimer is. We're going to see if their preparations for this thing turn out, I guess. And I guess we'll have to see. Dungeon People, episode 11. Okay. Fun stuff. Cool stuff, actually. It's the kind of material that's like, yeah, that's how you know Dungeon People is... It has a very simplified art style, but it continues to be very engaging because it's not necessarily communicating what it's communicating by being simple in that first place. It's just an interesting style choice that I feel really works out, and overall I've found this to be a pleasant series. Hopefully episode 12, it might be the last one, will be entertaining as well. And then Saturday stuff, and that's where, Friday night I started really playing Pokemon Legends, and then, I don't know, I just started having way too much fun sneaking up on Pokemon and hitting them over the head with a Pokeball saying, get the damn ball. Even for Pokemon that maybe I wasn't quite ready for, but it was within my star ranking stuff, and so because of all that, I didn't eat properly, didn't sleep properly, didn't drink properly. Overall, Saturday and Sunday were not very productive, and my anime suffered as well. Like, of all the stuff I normally watch on Saturday, I did not watch Dolly and Bloom, Why Does Nobody Remember Me, Makeen Atri. I only watched Elusive Samurai episode 11, and even then I went to bed and I was like, okay, well, at least I watched that. Why am I having trouble remembering what the end of the episode was like? And actually I'm having a little trouble. No, it was doing that. But back then it's because I paused halfway through it and went back to playing Pokemon Legends Arceus and just lost track of time. So, but I did finish and watch all of episode 11, and neat enough stuff. I think it's what it's setting up for episode 12 should be a good core finale, season finale. I guess we'll have to see. But neat stuff. I don't know that I'm necessarily giving up on everything else. I guess we'll have to see. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of time over the weekend. Sunday, though, I did watch Wisteria Wand and Sorcery Wand and Sword, episode 11. I keep calling it Wand and Sorcery. Anyways, episode 11. Let's see everything. Do I remember everything that happened in it? Okay, I think it actually did some pretty good stuff. Very engaging. This show has just been good action the whole time. Action that has consequences, that has meaning, it has purpose. And this one, it was to kind of tell us why the name of the show is the way it is, I think. And overall, it was neat, and it's just like, okay, I want to see the final episode and what the result of all that is. I'm pretty sure there's one. It's possible it's not, because the way episode 11 ended could have been a season finale, but it doesn't feel like it would be a good finale, because you need that breather afterwards where you kind of learn, I guess, where characters' socialness lies after that. And then get an idea for, okay, and what's a season 2 going to be like if it comes out? Because it was a pretty good season, everything we've seen so far. Let's see, I watched the final episode of Osun Newbie Adventurer. That would be episode 12. And the backstory was a little more interesting than I thought, even though I think I understood the general gist of it already, but it was set up entertaining enough, and an entertaining enough ending. It was just a weird show, because it kind of gives the implication of adventuring, but it doesn't feel like it spent most of it. It felt more like it was one or two other animes masquerading kind of as a fantasy adventuring show, kind of. Nothing too egregious, but just weird. And then last but not least, episode 25 of Spice and Wolf Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf. I mean, my notes have 24, but I'm pretty sure I just forgot to update it, and this does seem to be the end of the season. I don't think there's a 26. But overall, I'd say it ended just about right. Like, we want to see more, and I hope to see more, but in terms of, okay, what happened was very satisfying, and the best part is it did the right pacing thing where this is a little by the book, but this is a by the book that you kind of want to do, because after all that happened, I'm like, okay, well, I certainly hope for the end of this we get to see Holo and Lawrence chatting. Just some good banter between the two of them, some good discussions, something that feels like, yeah, that's a good ending to a season, and I hope there's a season 2. And so I hope there's a season 2, and if there's not, I think this one's actually bookended a little bit better than maybe the previous release, but I'm not 100% certain because I can't remember everything. But overall, entertaining. Okay, anything else to talk about? I mean, there's obviously the elephant in the room that's Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't know if I have anything to really comment about Dead by Daylight. For Pokemon Legends Arceus, again, I'm just having a lot of fun. I think there's probably an element of it that's triggering that same part of the brain that finds hunting, fishing, things like that fun. And of course, you know, it's Pokemon, so it's given to you in a, oh, and you can always keeping engaged with this. Whereas real hunting, maybe you tired and hungry, got to go to the bathroom. It's like, okay, there's the balance. There's me getting the hits. Whereas Pokemon, it's just like, no, you can put some of that stuff off, but you're not really using any energy. It's your character that's doing it. Just whatever calories are burnt, moving your thumbs around the Joy-Cons. But yeah, it's fun. It's interesting how the mechanics feel slightly different enough from regular Pokemon stuff that it doesn't feel the same. So, for example, the way speed and turns and all that stuff works, and I think even catch rates and catch mechanics all feel very not different, but maybe modified. Some of it is intriguing. Things like I see a Pokemon use Iron Defense, and my brain still thinks, oh, his defense just went up 2 stages, but actually it It's not the physical defense, it's the defensive stats both go up. And it's really built around something very different, very interesting. How far am I? I'm still at the second area. Not at the... I'm getting the hints as to the boss of the area. And I don't mean the ride Pokemon. I've gotten the ride Pokemon. I'm assuming I'm going to get a ride Pokemon in every area. But yeah, for the boss, getting hints and pretty sure I know what's going to happen. But I keep getting distracted by, you can just get lost in this world. Because, especially when you know that your goal is to collect all the Pokemon. So it's like, okay, I still haven't found a damn Cherubi. And because breeding and eggs aren't a thing in this, I know I have to actually find and catch one. Or transfer it in from somewhere else, but, you know. And yes, that means I found a Cherim first, which I'm not sure if that's more common or not. And yes, it was in the tree near the Lopunny. For those of you who know the game are like, oh, yeah, that is a spot. I don't know what that means, if I got lucky, if I got unlucky. Because if I got a Cherub, I could at least evolve it into a Cherim. A Cherubi into a Cherim. You know, but maybe I didn't get lucky, maybe I did get lucky. I don't know. But probably a good reason to continue pushing forward is as I get access to more areas and more ride Pokemon, I do have the ability to access things I couldn't before. I am finding my way to locations that I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be able to go to yet. I think you're supposed to be able to do that with a further ride Pokemon, but there's some scenery that you can take advantage of, and I think that's kind of nice. It feels great. There's still things I need to do. Anyways, it's been fun, but I've been torturing myself at the same time. And while there are the occasional moments where just like the menuing is a little weird, like it'll show the little icon indicating that you need to press a thing to move on, but it will show it and not be responsive to input for a second or two at all, and it just feels a little strange. But despite little things like that, it's pretty fun to play. Pretty nice. Not sure if I have anything else to really comment about, so we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Y'all, have a nice week.